In 2017, commuters on the North-South Line experienced frequent delays following the launch of a new signalling system, sparking much public outcry against rail operator SMRT. In November that year, two trains collided at Joo Koon Station on the East-West Line, injuring 38 people. But why did these disruptions happen? Before we answer this, let us delve into an essential part of all MRT lines, the signalling system. Think of it as traffic lights on an MRT track. They ensure trains keep a safe distance from one another while commuter demand is met. Our two oldest MRT lines have operated on a fixed block system since 1987. This divides the train track into blocks with length 200 meters, which are considered occupied if any part of the train is on it. There must be an unoccupied block between two trains, commonly resulting in extremely bumpy rides. In 2017, a new signalling system, the CBTC, began operating on the North-South Line. It includes a few systems to automate processes such as train movement, and it treats each train as a moving block, tracking various parameters like its precise location and speed. Such information is transmitted wirelessly to a wayside controller at each station. Together with wayside radio units, the limit of movement authority, a distance directly behind the preceding train, is calculated, which is sent to transponders on the train tracks. The Vigo onboard controller then receives this information, and an automatic train protection system helps regulate the train's speed, keeping it at least 50 meters away from the preceding train based on the LMA. Automatic train supervision helps automate the opening or closing of doors and in-train announcements too. In situations like wet weather or train delays, train speeds and schedules can be modified to account for delays while ensuring smooth rides. Finally, the Operations Control Center at the train depot monitors the data from all trains, adjusting train headways and schedules to meet commuter demand. This is a summary of how the CBTC system works. Feel free to pause the video to get a better understanding. But why use CBTC? It allows more effective track space usage as trains can run closer to each other. Waiting times between trains will also decrease, allowing for a 20% increase in capacity. In a train fault, trains can operate on any tracks in both directions safely. And last but not least, less equipment needs to be maintained as all information is transmitted wirelessly with CBTC, reducing operating costs. Now, how were the incidents in 2017 related to the CBTC system? It was fully launched on the North-South Line after just 8 weekends of testing. You heard that right, just 8. Several signalling slip-ups overlooked during testing cropped up after the launch. For instance, it prevented trains from passing over a crossover point midway from Bukit Batok to either of the two available platforms at Jurong East Station. This resulted in train bunching, where a queue of trains is formed to enter Jurong East Station, and much unused track space. It turned out that the system had erroneously allowed the tracks outside Jurong East Station to be used for bidirectional operation. Hence, the train at the platform must leave the station via one track before the next train can enter using the other track. This has since been rectified. Other errors include a glitch in the VOBC causing trains to overrun the station platform or even skip it completely. The ATS system had also malfunctioned on some occasions, resulting in announcement glitches. Trains stopped at stations for too little time, which had to be manually rectified, causing delays. Meanwhile, the CBTC system was not activated along the East-West Line in 2017 except for the newly opened Tuas West extension. Hence, trains had to switch signalling systems at Pioneer Station, which could take half a minute to 5 minutes. Train bunching happened as a result, stretching as far as 3 stops away. This caused irregular train intervals, overcrowding of trains, and significant train delays. But did you know that a small switch in signalling systems was actually linked to the Joo Koon collision? A train, let's call this Train X, experienced an error preventing it from communicating with trackside CBTC equipment. While it could function normally east of Pioneer with the fixed block system, it could not switch to the CBTC at Pioneer. Train X was then placed on restricted manual mode to ensure its safety due to the absence of ACP. This restricts its speed to 18 km per hour towards Joo Koon, the nearest available station for withdrawal from service with minimal disruption. At Joo Koon Station, the platform doors had to be manually opened due to the absence of ATS. This was the only indication to the subsequent train, Train Y, that the platform was occupied, causing it to stop 36 meters behind Train X. However, when Train X doors were closed, the CBTC signalling system assumed the platform was unoccupied as it could not communicate with or detect Train X at the platform. Train Y then abruptly accelerated, colliding with Train X. This was the Joo Koon train collision, but how did such incidents change our system? The old and new signalling systems were isolated on the East-West Line to prevent recurrent delays and incidents arising from similar errors. Train hours on both lines were reduced to facilitate more rigorous testing. This also applied to other MRT lines when upgrading works began in 2019 or when opening new stages of newer lines. The number of disruptions in the MRT system has consequentially decreased in recent years, increasing rail reliability and commuter satisfaction. Well, maybe 2017 was a blessing in disguise for the MRT system after all.